In this video, I'm going to share with you a few things that work to really practice your Ashwini Mudra. So Ashwini Mudra is a great mudra to practice in yoga. It really strengthens the pelvic floor. It helps in that process of strengthening the pelvic floor, and it will lead to a very more advanced way of practicing yoga, accessing the Mula Bandha and all of those things. The Ashwini Mudra has to be taught by an expert teacher, someone who has done this with a teacher themselves, really mastered it, and then work with you while they're looking at you in person, and they can really guide you to working this properly and correctly. So it's something that you really should be done with care, and it does take a long time to perfect it and to practice it in all of this. So what I can show you today is how I have learned it, and what I can show you today are things that have helped me in this journey of really learning what it is and how to access and how to practice safely. So Ashwini Mudra is also really wonderful for helping with hemorrhoids and fissures and those kinds of things that happen often sometimes because of stress or because of some kind of irritation in the area, and then you have this really painful condition that can last a really long time and sometimes months, right, coming back. So you have either a hemorrhoid or a fissure, and then it kind of heals and it keeps coming back. And so this practice can strengthen the anal sphincter, right, where we practice this Ashwini Mudra, and help relieve a lot of these conditions. So it's very simple, and also in that simplicity there's a lot to it. So give yourself time, and definitely, if you can contact an experienced teacher, definitely go see a teacher every now and then, just so they can see your progress and give you some direction on how to proceed, and that's the best advice. So if you have a little bit of if you're uncomfortable, this video is obviously just kind of like a talk video. There's no show and tell. So if you are uncomfortable with this topic of the pelvic floor, this may not be the video for you, but I'm just gonna go over a few things that you can do to really help you relieve, just to start with these good side effects of practicing the Ashwini Mudra, to relieve pain from fissures and from hemorrhoids. So as always, follow your doctor's advice first, but this is just something you can do extra from that. So you have a pelvic floor. There's a female pelvic floor and the male pelvic floor, and all that we're going to be talking about today is the anal sphincter. Okay, so you have the anal sphincter, and you have an opening for the urinary tract to come out. So the woman has their opening, the man has, the male body has a certain channel where the urine comes out, and the female body has that as well. So we're going to start with the anal sphincter. So first, what will happen is it's just the area down there. So there's no real distinction between where is the back part, the anal sphincter, and where is the vagina opening or the urethra opening. So the first step is to start distinguishing between the two, and you can do that by first pumping the anal sphincter and seeing that the vaginal opening or the urethra opening is not moving. So you're creating a distinction between those two. Sometimes you have your hand, you move the pinky and you move all of the fingers. So you have to, okay, I'm just gonna move the pinky. So same thing, with these different muscles that you have. So they have the round muscle where you open and close as if you were going to open and close the ability to urinate. So you can close that, right? And then you can open and close the area where you would go where you defecate, right? So you can open and close that area. So we practice differentiating between the two and being able to access one without the other one responding as well. So that's the first step. So that's all we'll work on in this video. So a nice way to do it is to roll, to have like a little cushion or rolled up belt here in this case, but you can also fold a little washcloth, like a face washcloth. And you can, for the Ashwini Mudra, we're just gonna sit on it. So we sit on this roll and make sure that it's just on the anal sphincter. And once you sit on it, you create a little, so if you have your finger and you close your eyes and you say move, the ring finger, if I lightly touch that ring finger, I'm able to move it much better than if I just said, okay, move your index finger. Okay, you have to, the hand, we use the hand every day, but if you were to do this with your toes and you were to touch the pinky, you'd be able to move the pinky if you have that touch. So same thing here. You sit on a little roll and make that roll just be in contact with the Ashwini, with the anal sphincter, and then you pump the anal sphincter into that support. So straight. So you never want to insert anything. It's not a tubular, it's just a awareness of you're moving that versus everything else down there, right? So first is just one big mass, and then you start discovering that there's layers to the pelvic floor. There's layers of muscles where it just, there are muscles that open and close the openings. There are muscles that bring those, the pelvic floor together. And then there are big muscle that just holds all of the organs in their place, right? So there's a big muscle there too. So we start differentiating between the layers and the different areas there. And in between the vaginal opening or the urethra and the anal sphincter, you have the perineum there in the middle. So we're gonna first start just with the Ashwini Mudra, which is the anal sphincter, and you're just going to isolate that muscle from every other muscle in your pelvic floor, and you're going to strengthen it by this motion of squeezing it together and bringing it up, sort of this pumping motion. Okay, so that's the mechanics. Now, the most important aspect of this exercise and practicing like this is really the most important part, is maintaining this softness in the eyes, the ears, the throat, and the belly. So not at any point should there be tension in the eyes or in the throat or anywhere, because it's like moving the feet and clenching the hands. So the hands can be nice and relaxed while you move your feet. And or sometimes when a kid is drawing, they have their tongue out or something. So we start just isolating the movements where you're just moving the anal sphincter, and you'll see that the abdominals want to help, the legs want to help. So everything tenses in the beginning. So you move slowly, and you don't overdo this. If you get a headache, then you understand that you are tensing the eyes, ears, throat, the brain, everything. So to start really separating what's what and being able to just move what you want to move. So this is very important if there's going to ever be a progression into Mula Bandha or really just a healing that area and creating strength. So soft eyes, ears, and throat. Make sure that you're always breathing without holding your breath. Then do this movement of the Ashwini Mudra. If you have any questions, please send it to me in the comments. I hope this video is useful for you, and I hope that it helps relieve the pain and strengthen this very important part of the body, which is the pelvic floor, and demystify that area and keep it healthy. for longevity and strength and health in the organs and in your body. Thank you. See you in the next video.